Welcome to the Cosmic Watch. I'm your astrologer, Franklin, and for the next hour, we will have a look at things astrological and see what's going on in the sky, and also talk and do readings for people in our chat room. Subscribers to the channel are welcome to join us in the chat room, and we will, as always, do readings for them, find out how things are going for them, and see if we can predict what's going to happen for them next week. That's the whole idea. And I am into doing psychic phone calls myself. I've been doing that for a pretty good while. And the way to get a private reading with me here at weforetell.com is just look for the contact number there. And you can check out also our other free material available to you here on YouTube. And this is things like the horoscopes that we do on a monthly basis, and also compatibility videos and things like that. And of course, if you like what you see, please hit a thumbs up, because it does make a difference, and we do thank you for your support. And here's SJ joining us in the chat room. SJ, hope you've had an enjoyable week as we get ready for we're kind of coming to the end of the new moon here. And also Heather saying good evening, and Kika. And let's just start from the top with SJ and see what sort of a reading that we're getting on SJ tonight. Is the death card, and that makes sense, SJ. The death card is the card that symbolizes Scorpio, and of course we're in Scorpio tonight, and Scorpio is all about crisis, right? Leading to change, leading to the transformation, SJ, that is just about to come into your life. That the universe doesn't really care for a vacuum. It replaces things. When a cycle ends, the next cycle begins. And there's when you see the death card, it's that almost always that a cycle is about to end. And through crisis, we find out how strong we are, and a good thing to know, of course, to know about yourself. That's what astrology is all about. And here's Larry joining us. Larry, good evening. Nice to have you along. We're ready for Heather now. Heather, if I drew a card on Heather tonight, it would be about you taking charge, Heather, of your life, and using the gifts and talents that you've been given to help other people in the service of other people. That's what it's all about. You can be the magician, the wizard, hidden behind the curtain, running the show, and doing what others need done, Heather. Even if they don't know it, even if they don't appreciate it, even if you're the only one who knows you did it, it's very worthwhile to do things in the service of others. And as we move down, let's see for Kika. And for Kika here, there's Kika. Yeah, yeah. It's you're looking for truth. That's why you're here, of course, is to get a reading and get honest feedback from. Um, and this is what the cards always give us, Kika, because the readings that I do come directly from your spirit guides. Your guides come through your questions. My guides can understand that, and they pass the information along to me. This is how I know why my hand is always taken to a certain card. So, Kika, this is you finding the truth that you're looking for, getting the honest feedback that you're looking for, so you can trust it. So yeah, great to have you along with us tonight. Now for Larry, Larry, if I hit on you tonight, ah, yeah, there you are at work. So that's the main thing in your mind is the changes that are going on at work and the other people at work and how you how you've had enough. You you've you you've done all that you can do, and that's how you feel. And a lot of us do sometimes, but this is all all that money, Larry. Goodness. This is the reason that you're going to be able to stop doing the work that you're doing is this landslide of money that's about to fall in on you there. So I don't think work is really going to be a concern of yours very long, Larry. Kika and SJ and Kika says, "Do you see uh, reconnection?" Again with with Ty, is it? Uh, uh, Kika says, "Do you see reconnection again?" And if so, when? So are you going to be able to reconnect with where you've come from? Yes, yes. The Kika, this is your guides, the universe giving you a gift. So the fact that there is, or perhaps is not, a reconnection here comes to tell you whether or not you're really supposed to long term be with that other person. It's a gift, truly, to be able to know. So the, whatever happens, it happens to let you know, and it was supposed to happen that way. So yeah, that's what you got going. Heather says, I have been contemplating going into the mental health field, especially after my son was in the hospital, and an old friend reached out about their mental health. Not sure I can mentally handle myself. Heather, the that situation is to let you know that it is the right situation. Very often, people actually contact an illness or a need so they can experience it and know how to help others, how to how they fit in and can really put it to use, can put their knowledge to use, put their gifts to use. And I think that's what you're being told here, Heather, is that's that's a real good connection for you, the feel, because you do have empathy for the people that you would be helping. And what a wonderful thing to get to spend your time helping people who are need help and deserve help. And I can tell you, it's wonderful that this is what I get to do. And it's the greatest work I've ever done. It's the greatest feeling that I've ever had. It's the most I've ever felt that I was really helping other people. And Kika says, when is this likely to happen? When is the reconnection going to come? And your guides say that this is either you or the other person. What is holding you back is not nearly as strong as you think it is. It's like this person is like in jail, but the jail door is standing open. So when does this happen? Very soon, very very soon. The all one of you, the one who's going to come back, has to realize is that the problem is solved. The what was holding things back is no longer important, and that's why I think the reconnection is going to happen. And Heather says mental health field really really needing people right now too. Oh goodness, yes. All all of the facilities that were closed and turned over to private private concerns. And can you pay enough to those people to make it worthwhile to keep them in the business? When you turn anything into a dollars and cents transaction, you really you take the heart out of it, right? And the soul out of it. Um, and yeah, yeah. So, Kiki, I think that's going to happen very soon for you. Heather says, if I go back to school, I'd need to go for about a year and a half and get the bachelor's in social work. And it really is worth doing. That's just what my granddaughter has finished doing, is getting her degree in social work, and now she is going to work with autistic teens right here in our town. And I mean, it's just the perfect fit. It's what she wrote her paper on. And it's what she has always wanted to do. Yeah, and yeah, in psychology, yes, yeah, boy, she found what she was really interested in, and just boy, came through college with the top grades, and it has always been very interested in helping other people. And um, she one of the jobs that she used to work her way through college was doing psychic phone calls, working for a phone line, and of course her mother, my daughter, is also psychic. So we were able to help her get started, and it turned out she really enjoyed that, and she does have an empathy, a feeling for people, and really enjoys doing things for them, and doing the social work. And Heather says going to ask if she still does readings, and that and she doesn't. She doesn't, and it's almost as if she got into it too soon. I'm not really sure, but certainly I think maybe she'll return to it someday. It, it's a part of psychology. Many psychologists consider astrology to be a very helpful tool as far as understanding people, and it's certainly a learning experience for the reader. Every time I do a reading for someone, when I relay the information back to them, if I listen very closely and try to understand, there's always a message there for me. This is how how my guides always communicate. They communicate through the voice that you are going to trust more than any other voice in the world, and that's your own. That voice in the back of your head, that's the voice that is imitated by your guides, and boy, they're good at it. They can, your guides can even actually put words in your mouth, because your guides exist in your heart, and your heart is closer to your mouth than your mind is. Have you ever heard yourself say something and thought, where did that come from? And it is your guides just taking control and trying to help you along. And if you want to experience your guides talking to you, what you do is listen very carefully anytime you're telling someone how to do something, and anytime you're giving an answer to someone, anytime you're trying to explain something to someone, if you'll listen very carefully, there's always a message there for you, something that can be very, very useful. Heather says, as if talking to yourself. Yes, and that, I think that's the whole point of guides being within you, is to let you know that good God can reside within each and every person out there. And everyone has that higher self within them. And everyone has, through that, a personal connection to God. And everyone gets a chance to try more than once. And that's the huge thing that God has always been misrepresented by people who are trying to have power over other people. And God has always been presented to us as a punishing God, when in reality, God is a forgiving God. God would much rather forgive than to have to punish. God created you in God's own image, and God is a spirit, and that means you began in the spirit world, in whatever you conceive to be heaven. And the the coming into the world is only a part of the cycle: birth, death, rebirth. We get to at the end of the cycle, at the end of this life, you are the judge. You get to decide whether you have reached your enlightenment or not. And that's based upon everything you've ever done or not done, every action or inaction, and things you said or didn't say, and the results of it. And that's what you'll get to review when you leave this life. SJ says, Franklin, will health get better? Will SJ health get better? Is it going to improve? Yes, and in a very surprising way. You see, our friend here has something in his cup that he doesn't quite know how it got there, and it came from the spirit world. I mean, this is fish appearing in a cup. Where have we seen that before? This is the spirit world coming to give you the strength to fix that health, giving you the healing. Yes. So health going to get better? Yes, it will. Very, very, very much so. And this is you learning new things. This is you being the student, finding a new way to be able to handle this. Maybe there's a new med, a new treatment that is going to make it be a lot better. You know, talking about things getting better. We're just about down to the end of this year. And this year has been a 7 in totals to 7, 2023. Next year, the total is an 8. It will be an 8 year. In the 7. 7 is a year when the spirit world tries to make us need the spirit world and ask for their help. Now, how would they do that? They use our health. They use our finances. It's been a tough year. Our cages have been rattled using our health and our finances. And it was all to get us to ask our guides for help, to make us humble enough to know that we can't do it alone. That why do we have guides? They're there for us to ask them for their help. The information you receive from your guides, the omens, the signs that they send to you, are sometimes not taken to heart. Sometimes they're not followed, and this can make your guides double down on how hard they try to get your attention. So this year, if you didn't reach a point where you prayed, you asked for the help that you needed, then you will. things won't get better until you actually ask for the help. And that very often happens in New Year's resolutions at the end of the year. And that is when things are going to do jumpstart into a new cycle. The 8 represents you reaping whatever you've sown over the past 7 years. The 8th year is the year to reap what you've been planting in your garden. Back in year 1, you had the seed, and in year 2, you had to ask for some help. You had to have some rain, some sunshine on it. In year 3, it finally popped out into public, right? It came up out of the ground. Year 4, you discovered that it's all part of a plan. You're walking along, and you see now where you fit in to the big picture, right? And then in year 5, that's the year of change. That's when everything falls apart, and you end up finding a whole new path. And year 6 is where you learn how to trust people again. Year 7 is when you finally ask the people, maybe even your enemies, your competitors, maybe your guides and your angels. It's when you ask for help. And year 8 is when it comes. Year 9. Year after, next year. After you receive and you're thankful, then you have to let it go. No matter how good, no matter how bad anything has been that comes into your life, you have to let it go. You have to pass it along so it can keep moving through the universe and go to the other people. That you're not alone. Nobody stands alone in this universe. We're never meant to be alone. Adam and Eve came in as a pair. They were the first. And Adam and Eve are a very interesting pairing. Adam and Eve. The name, the name Adam not only means of red dirt, but it also is inclusive of 2, not 1. It's Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve began as a single cell. Adam and Eve, and as equal souls. And the real thing, to learn from Adam and Eve is that they were forgiven. Their punishment did not last forever. They did their sentence, and they were forgiven. And this is the secret of the entire universe, as we've been taught. We have a religion that was changed by humans in the first century. The Christians of the original Christian church were being killed in the arena for sport. This is how bad the churches were being burned down. And the only solution was a miracle. The only solution was to convert the Roman emperor, the most unchristian person probably on earth at that time, a person who felt as though they were a living God. So, in order to convert the emperor to Christianity, the leaders of the religion took a lot out of the Bible in order to go along with the lifestyle of the Roman emperor, so he would be able to convert as it was, and the miracle was that it happened. that the Emperor Constantine found God, and suddenly um, everything was changing, and the one of the biggest things that was taken out, that was stricken from the Bible, is the prohibition on eating red meat, uh, and the prohibition of getting drunk, drinking alcohol to excess. I mean, this is what the religion was teaching up until that time. Um, and the other thing, of course, is having sex outside of marriage, uh, which to the Romans at that time was more like sport. Uh, it was, I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah. It was going on, and with the Romans, and especially with the upper class, the emperor and friends. So to think that these things were going to change was just out of the question. So a great compromise comes together in order to stop the slaughter that's going on of Christians in the year 100. They have to reach this compromise of changing the rules, moving the goalpost, making things so much different. And one of the things that was taken out is the fact that God felt so sorry for Adam and Eve that they were only punished for what God said was going to be 5.5 days. And now, as it turns out, a day to God is 1,000 years. So God promised Adam and Eve, and this was in the book of Adam and Eve, that in only 5.5 days, 5,500 years, God was going to come to earth in human form, take on a human form, and die a human death, because God felt responsible. God created these spirits, and God knew from the beginning what was going to happen. The fallen angels were here on earth to create temptation, and when, not if, they ate from the tree of life. So, and of course, in 5,500 years, this is when we have the coming of Jesus to earth, and God evening things up, getting um, uh, having a restart. And the biggest thing that this shows is that God can change God's mind. Oh, what a wonderful concept. God evolves. God, God is ever growing, ever evolving, just like the entire universe. So we uh, are really, we are really living a life here for each other. We're all God's creations, and we can't go to God until we all go together. This is why we're here to help each other find our enlightenment, and those who have already found their enlightenment. Instead of going back for another reincarnation, they become our spirit guides, and the spirit guides are who we contact as we do uh, our readings, and we need actually to get back to our readings. No, now today, if you were born today, you're a Scorpio, and the moon is in Capricorn. They're Scorpios, so transformation. That's the biggest thing with Scorpios, and if you add up today's date, it adds up to 26. Of course, we use the 11 for the 11th month, as in October, November, and December, all a two-digit number for the only time. So if you add 11 plus the 1, the 7, and the 2, and the 2, 3, you come up with 26. So 26 indicates that your life is going to be a mixture of those two numbers. 2 plus 6 equals 8. And this means sharing a lifetime of sharing what you have, sharing your abundance in service of other people. That's the 2, 6, 8 life, and especially with Scorpios. It's a way to share what you have, to share your, and even if that's knowledge, and sharing, even if it's sharing your missteps, letting others learn from your mistakes. What a generous thing to do. This is why those who tell us that they are infallible have problems. they have a distorted view of their own importance to the world. How could you possibly get a distorted view from your guides or from an angel? Well, it is because there are fallen angels. There are angels who are restricted to earth. There were 200 of the fallen angels who came along to still under the mandate of God to help humans towards their enlightenment, to find their enlightenment. And the difference between angels and fallen angels is that the fallen angels don't feel like they have to tell you the truth. They can tell you for your own good, to push you towards your enlightenment, whatever will seem rational to you at the time. And the only beings in this universe who can look like a real angel are the fallen angels. They can look like pure light. This is why so many people are misguided in this world. So many people become fanatical about whatever way that they're being led, and it's because they're being led towards their fate. Death is a part of life, and this is the world that we're living in out there. But it's is this world really is it really influenced by the stars? I think it is, and in an overall way, what the biggest thing that is happening and has been happening over the last 12 years is that Neptune is in Pisces. It's home. Neptune in Pisces is, and then this will continue until March of 2025, a year from this coming March. So we're coming to the final year of this 14-year span where Neptune has been in Pisces, and everything has been about water, clean water, pollution of water, hurricanes blowing in water. And water also has been a way of dissolving borders between people, forcing them together, and between countries. Water is being used to bring people together. And of course, there's always huge blowback against people being shoved together. And that's certainly what we're seeing. And the other thing about Neptune being in Pisces is that each and every person on this planet, your susceptibility to drugs, your susceptibility to sickness was greatly enhanced. And what you can see exactly there was the COVID years that we just came through, and the opioid crisis, people being more sensitive than they've ever been to things like fentanyl. The whole drug crisis was a part of this Neptune being in Pisces. There's only just over another year for this. And when that means that all the changes that have been coming since 2011 are going to come to a head over the next 15 months. And boy, things are going to change. Borders are going to dissolve. And we're going to have the same sort of change that hasn't happened on Earth since the last time that Neptune came all the way around the solar system, and that was 245 years ago. The time of the American Revolution, the time of the French Revolution, a time of social change that led to peace. And this of course, this is what Pisces is all about, is peace. Yes. So when the home planet comes home, all of this that's been going on since 2011 is taking us towards peace. Peace between, not only between countries and people, between the two sides of ourselves. The logic against the emotional side. Trying to think our way into heaven can't be done. you can't save enough money to buy your way into it, even into purgatory if it did exist. That's an interesting concept, isn't it? To be able to buy your way into heaven. Imagine people thinking that the streets in heaven would be made of gold. That's that is the sort of misconception that religion has led us to by telling us that we alone cannot go to heaven by ourselves. It can't be done. You have to have the church. You have to have the religion. We have to have this teaching. You have to have this dogma. You have to live your life by these particular rules. And then on the complete other side, this is not what the Buddha was teaching. The Buddha taught that it's all within each and every one of us. Every soul out there must find their own peace. And if the Buddha taught us nothing else by the life that was lived, it is that opulence is not necessary for happiness. The Buddha's father was a king, and at the birth of the Buddha, they did an astrological reading. The horoscope for the newborn child said, if this one connects to the material world, he's going to amass great wealth. And if he finds the spirit world, he will find great redemption. He will find the forgiveness that his father thought was useless. His father did everything he could to tie the Buddha to the material world. He gave him elephants with gold chains. He gave him 2 different palaces, both with a harem. He gave him as a wife the princess from the neighboring country, county, whatever it was. They had a beautiful son. The Buddha, talk about going to the extreme, the Buddha's father had people go out before him and clean the streets, clean up all the trash. So everything is beautiful. And by the way, clean up those dead bodies out there too. The Buddha is 21 years old before he sees his first dead body and is told that people age, that he doesn't even know that people age. This is how he's been floating through life. And to realize that, to give all that up because it did not bring happiness. This is, and this is finding finding God within yourself. And what the Buddha did was go out to the wilderness, man. Go live in the woods. Get away from the city, away from the opulence. The old boy who wrote the Tao Te Ching said that the biggest trouble causer in the world were roads and boats and bridges that brought the troubles of one town to another town. If people would just mind their own business, everybody would be much better off. And in the end, the writer of the Tao Te Ching goes out and lives in the wilderness. It lives out the rest of his life in peace out by himself. And so So what we have in our civilization now is we're all forced together. We're all put together, and we keep looking for this natural order where we'll all know where we're going and how to get there. But what we get is the violence of forced order, authoritarianism, people wanting to be in charge of other people. And this is what will change to bring peace to the world, is the way we treat each other, and the all of the different things that have sprung up because of authoritarianism, all the things that we would be better off without. So as we do change and we find our peace, we want to be able to understand the past. See, the past is written in stone. The past doesn't change. What changes is the way that we perceive it, the way we use that information. If we don't learn from the past, then we are going to have to repeat it. And if we repeat it with the same attitude of, I'm not thankful for this, then you're not learning anything. You're not growing. You're just going to have to repeat the cycle. You're going to have to get right back out there and try it all over again. And that's what reincarnation is all about. And there's a wonderful thing about reincarnation, and that is that you can choose which sex you want to be. Why would you change your sex? Because it's the seventh life, the seventh cycle, where you are expected to find your spirituality. Every seventh life, when our spirits are trying to, and here's Alberto saying hello. Alberto, let me see what we have for you. If we pull a card for Alberto, yeah. Alberto, this is about you connecting to the spirit world, the black cat, right? And you being able to tell others what you've found, what the good news that you've found. Alberto, any questions that I could answer for you very quickly? We've got just another couple of minutes here before we run out of time tonight. But I do like to answer everyone's questions in the room there. Yes. So this is you opening up the pathway and realizing that it does work both ways. You can send and receive. You're a receiver. Yes, you are. And this is about being able to receive the love that comes. My person's name, Shan. My name, Yeah. Oh, uh, oh. Uh, yes, 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 yes. So, yeah, confused. If let's see what the pairing looks like. What is the pairing there? Ah, it, it, the pairing works because you can forgive each other. This is how you know if you're supposed to be with someone. If you can forgive them of their mistakes, each and every one of us make mistakes, and it's all about forgiving, all about giving another chance, again, starting over. That's the, uh, the basis behind everything is never say never. Anything is possible in this universe, and when people come back, bet you thought I lost my place. when people come back as the opposite sex, what they're trying to do is eliminate the greatest temptation that the fallen angels throw at us, the other sex. It's in an attempt to have a more spiritual life that a soul would take on the other sex so they would not have to go through the temptation that in our world today is everywhere. You literally cannot get away from it. This pairing together of different humans, it seems to be the whole point. And this is a lot of what the fallen angels put into our world. Alberto says, trying to talk to her, and it seems like there's always an excuse for why she didn't make it to where we were supposed to meet. And so what you're feeling, yeah, is very valid. She's really looking for an excuse to start an argument. So you can, so that she can walk away, but it'd be your fault. See? So yeah, excuses when they just don't ring true to you, that's your guides whispering in your ear, trying to let you know that that's not the direction that they want you to go in. And so there's a lot to be learned, and we'll have to get back to it next week because our time is up. Our hour is gone. Thanks to you all for participating. And Alberto says, so what should we do? And just before we get out of here, Alberto, this can be balanced if you both look at it in the right way. If you both are honest enough with each other to stop playing games. Find out exactly what's wanted. Let them know whether or not you're willing to give. Honesty, that's what can save any relationship. If you're honest and can accept the honest feedback that's going to come to you. So before we get out of here, thanks again to all who participated in the show. And remember to hit a thumbs up button to show your support. Until next week, same time, same channel for the Cosmic Watch, I'm Franklin.